looks like Kai Havertz is asking to leave the club, and Chelsea have given him a massive ultimatum. Veiga, I don't know whether I pronounced his name correctly, but apparently he's a hot prospect from Europe and is on Pochettino's demand list. Kante gets an offer from Saudi Arabia that I think he just can't refuse. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's move to AC Milan is off because Maldini gets sacked, and we get more clarity about the £60 million bid that Chelsea made for Mike Manyang. And finally, the one and only Ian Matson. What's going on? The player speaks out. We know that there's been a bid rejected, and we know that Chelsea want in a range of £20 million plus bonuses, and he looks at what he wants and where he wants it. But I'm going to break all of this down for you guys in the next 15 minutes, and you're going to leave with your Chelsea dose satisfied. We're starting off with a Kai Havertz news because it's the biggest news surrounding Chelsea right now. Look, you all know how much I rate Kai Havertz, and I think Kai Havertz has the it factor. I think genuinely, if we built around Kai Havertz and enabled him to play in his number 10 role where he's making the late runs, he's coming in or into the box late, crosses are coming in, he will get you around about 15 goals. And not only will he do that, he'll also occupy defenders, he'll link other players into the game, and he's a high IQ player. That's just my personal opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. You might have a different opinion. It looks like Kai Havertz is done at Chelsea. It looks like he's sick and tired of Chelsea, and it looks like Chelsea have given him an ultimatum, and Kai Havertz has made his decision. This is coming from Jacob Stecklenburg. And what has happened? Chelsea basically have run down the contract to 2 years. And as responsible clubs do, Chelsea are acting now. Before next year, they're in the Mason Mount situation again. What have they done? They've basically told him, either Kai, you sign a new deal, or we're looking to move you on this summer. The reports in Spain and reports in Germany are suggesting Madrid are willing to pay 50 to 60 million pounds for the player. Chelsea said, hell no, we want around about 75 million pounds. And for me, I think this is a very good, realistic number that Chelsea are asking for. Chelsea signed him for less than that. Kai Havertz since then has developed into a very decent player, and he has displayed an element of the potential that we know he has. The consistency is lacking, but I still think there is a good player in there, and that we should be demanding the value that we're demanding. But now we have got breaking news, and the breaking news is that Kai Havertz has asked Chelsea to sell him. He basically wants to leave, he wants to move on and start a new challenge. This is normal because I think Kai Havertz has been unfairly criticized. I think Kai Havertz has been scapegoated. I think Kai Havertz has been left hung up to dry. I think the performances that Mason Mount has been putting in and other Cobham graduates would be getting praised if they were the performances Kai Havertz puts in. Kai Havertz doesn't score enough goals, all of a sudden, oh my God, he's horrible. He does a job at number 9, oh my God, he's horrible. You can't be punishing players for doing the job that they're asked to and sacrifice their game for us. Personally, I'm not selling Kai Havertz. I'm giving him a new deal, and I'm building around him. That's just my opinion. I want to hear yours in the comments below. So let's move on and let's understand what's going to happen, because Chelsea are actively waiting for more clubs to get involved. And in the meantime, before you do that, hit the like button in the comments below, and finally subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 30,000 subs by the end of the month. Can we do that? Yes, we can. In the pinned comment below is my Instagram. Go follow me there and hit me up with the latest football rumors that are out and the transfer stories that are coming out, so that 1, I can keep you guys up to date, and number 2, you can ask me the questions directly. But now let's move on. When this new ownership group took over, there was a lot of stories surrounding Chelsea's new approach. We're not going to go after the big names. We're not going to go after the individuals that are the next up. We're going to go after the individuals that are next up. Basically, we're going to get them before they become the 90 million pound players. We're going to get them before they were 100 million pound players. Since then, we've spent money on Mudryk, Koulibaly, Sterling, and others, to the point where I started saying this might be a little bit of a nonsense strategy because I don't see what we're trying to do. Well, now we've seen us linked with another player. We're linked with an individual called Veiga. I don't know whether I pronounced his name correctly. Someone in a comment was cooking me for pronouncing names horribly the other day. I want to apologize in advance to any footballers that watch whose names I cook. That's just the way I speak. I can't pronounce names. Apologies. The interesting thing is, what are we going to do? Well, this guy is a player for Celta Vigo. I've never seen him play, so I'm going to really struggle to tell you my personal opinion of him. What I did is the classic football fan. Number 1, I went on to FIFA. I wanted to see what positions can this player play. FIFA saying Cam, CDM, CM. So what that tells me is he's incredibly comfortable in position, he can put in some tackles, and he can carry the ball. Then I did the other thing. I went and checked his goals and assists. I'm not lying to you guys. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this player. I'm not going to pretend to tell you I watch every league in the world, because that's nonsense, and I don't do that on this channel. He's got 11 goals, 4 assists in 36 games, in 2,196 minutes. Yes, impressive, memorize that. What I was a little bit impressed with was his compilation. His compilation looked good, he looked good in tight areas, and what was very impressive was his ability to carry the ball and draw some fouls, weight of pass in the final third, based on the compilations that I saw, and his intelligence overall. He really struck me like a very good Spanish player. Someone that's comfortable in possession, could ride a challenge, and at the same time have the technical ability to release it at the right time and know what to do. However, I need to be relaxed and I need to be calm. He is a player that I've only seen in compilations. I don't know much about him. What really worried me in those compilations was he looked like a number 10 or maybe even a winger, based off the way that he was picking up the ball and driving it and coming inside. He could be a very good player in the twin 10s. So I don't see how he is the alternative to an Ugarte, or maybe he's just the alternative to a Kai Havertz. Personally, at this moment in time, it's been too short of a time frame for me to bring you guys in detail analysis of this player. It's something I could do at a later stage. Let me know in the comments below, but otherwise, that's what we have at the moment. He's on Poch's list. Chelsea are interested. This is coming from Jacob Stekenberg, and the exact same individual that is telling us that Kai Havertz has asked to leave. Another story that's coming out right now is the N'Golo Kante saga, because the Kante saga is very interesting. Look, Kante was going to sign for Chelsea prior to his injury, and then the offer that was given to him is apparently moving away from the table. Chelsea are very wary that this individual has had nearly the whole season to recover, coming back only to get re-injured again. And they don't want to pay an asset that much money that he's worth when he's fit to only be injured consistently. And the reality is, I think at this moment in time, Chelsea might be handling this the professional way, not the emotional way that I'm looking at it, because I'm a fan, I'm emotional in my decision making. I love N'Golo Kante. I think N'Golo Kante is fantastic. I think he's world class, and I think his experience is needed in the squad. But Chelsea are looking at it from a P&L way of like thinking, right? The simple profit and loss. If he's not on the pitch, he's making us a loss, because all we're doing is paying him wages and he's off the field. When he's playing, he's bringing us profit. So because of the fact that we're winning more games, he's contributing to us, and his wages are actually being utilized. The reality is Saudi Arabia, who have been offering players money left, right, and center, are actively giving him £100 million a year to sign there, with image rights and other perks. And the reality here is, I think he'd be stupid not to take that money. N'Golo Kante's career is essentially on the decline. He has been an incredible servant for Chelsea, for Leicester, his other club in France, which is slipping my mind at this moment in time. He has been phenomenal, an asset, an absolute talisman for France. He's won a World Cup. He's been an integral part in the success that they've had at Chelsea. So he has nothing left to prove. And the reality is, 100 million a year is a lot of money. It's money that is generational wealth. It's money that some people, 99.9% of people in the world, are not going to be able to achieve ever, let alone in 1 year. So for me, he needs to do what's best for him and his family. He might just say, I've already got enough money. But for me, I would take that money and run off, because N'Golo Kante deserves every bit of what he wants. The rumors have it that he wants to stay. He might even be willing to reject it. If he does that, build him a statue, because this is him loving the club more than anything I've ever seen. Now let's move on to the next one. So yesterday I brought you guys this report that in Italy it is suggesting that Manyang is on his way to Chelsea, because Chelsea put in a £60 million bid. Well, more clarity has come out since then, and it's very interesting to see what's going on. So the one and only Maldini was relieved from his duties at Milan like yesterday. So he is the sporting director. He was a former legend at the club. If you don't know, you should know. You should be embarrassed that your football knowledge doesn't go back enough in time to know who Paolo Maldini is. But Maldini got relieved of his duties. A couple of the players at AC Milan at this moment in time aren't very happy. Rafael Leão, who signed the new deal, is actually fuming. He feels let down, he feels lied to. He believes that one of the reasons he re-signed is due to the fact that Maldini was at the club. Theo Hernandez is another player that has recently re-signed and is very frustrated. Mike Manyang has 2 years left on his deal, and apparently he has been very vocal behind the scenes and is unhappy. But how does this link with Chelsea? So Chelsea have been negotiating with with AC Milan over a move for Ruben Loftus-Cheek to Milan, and the club that plays at the San Siro has actively replicated that they are very interested. In the middle of the conversations, Chelsea have said, how about Mike Manyang, 60 million? Milan shut it down. Milan are not interested in moving on one of their prized assets, and they believe he's worth far more. And that is where the story ends at this moment in time for Mike Manyang. But what does it mean for Ruben? Well, Ruben was meant to be joining them, and we were meant to have final sets of interviews in the upcoming days. However, with the sacking of Maldini, it looks like that move is in jeopardy. It looks like that move is about to fall through. And the reason being is because all moves that are for players are on pause until the next chief executive comes in. Paolo Maldini has been removed from his post, and Milan basically is at a standstill, which essentially means Ruben Loftus-Cheek's career at Chelsea could not be over yet. We saw a very emotional Ruben Loftus-Cheek when he was clapping to come off. He got a standing applause from the Stamford Bridge faithful. So it's very frustrating to understand what is going on, because I was ready to let Ruben go. I actually was fully comfortable with 20 million euros. It's something that, in my opinion, is good money for Ruben Loftus-Cheek at this moment in time. It looks like he's set to stay unless we can find an alternative club. And finally, now we're going to talk about Ian Matson, because Ian Matson is an individual that it looks like is going to fight for the badge. Looks like he's going to fight to play for Chelsea in the future. Ian Matson went on loan. He went on loan to Burnley last season. He had a phenomenal loan, to the point where he got into the championship team of the season, flourished to the point where Vincent Kompany's spoken so highly about him. Mainstream media are starting to pick up on it, let alone the footballholics on Twitter. What's going on with him? He's got a year left on his deal. Chelsea rejected £15 million bid for Ian Matson, and now they're actively trying to settle what they're going to do with him. The player has come out and said, look, he can't sit around for too long. He's going to be training after a little break, and he's going to go away with Holland for the U21 Euros, and when he comes back, he's coming straight back to Stamford Bridge to prove his worth. The reports are coming out and suggesting that the player is willing to even sign a new contract and go on loan. Reason being is he believes that the pathway is there for him to play. He even is willing to stay as long as there's only one player in front of him. For example, a Ben Chilwell. Cucurella moves on. He's sitting there and buying his time. He believes he's good enough to start. He believes he's got enough attributes to be a regular starter at Chelsea, and he wants to stay at the club. Reality is, this is the type of player I want at the club. Technically savvy, good shot on him, ability to take a man off the dribble, ability to carry the ball well, ability to be very decisive and confident in his own ability. So I really want to see how this story develops. I really want to see where we go from here, and this is a big but. If we sell him for the 20 million plus bonuses that we are trying to put into a contract, it is very good business considering the fact that he's in this final year of his contract. But I would prefer to keep him and get rid of Cucurella. Let me know your thoughts, people, because today's video has been a long one, but a great one, and you know it has been. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and like I said, I want to hit 30,000 by the end of this month. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Bob the Builder told us we can. In the comments below, drop me, not a pineapple this time, but drop me a fruit, a strawberry. Drop me a strawberry emoji just to let me know that you made it all the way this far. Peace out, I'm out, and that's how I'll know you guys are the real ones.